Help support AMTV by becoming a patron, an AMTV staff member, and following us over on Twitter.
Hi there guys, it's Adam Martin here, and welcome back to another episode of the Now Review. And this time we're continuing our journey through the world of Now Dance, taking a look at the second ever release, which followed firmly off the heels of the first one, which came out in 1985. For today we're going to be looking at Now Dance 86. So as we normally do, let's take a look at the cover. Now this one is a really bright red, which I think is a massive improvement from the first Now Dance, which was a predominant grey. This is a bold colour, it's striking, it catches your eye. Still on the cover though, I don't know what's going on here with the different characters, like sort of weird men. They sort of appeared like haphazardly through the Nows, but they're sort of all angular and triangular. It's a bit odd. You've got the Now Dance logo here, which I think is great. The whole background of the yellow triangle, the multicoloured shapes that inhabit the word dance and stuff. It's just a really strong logo, very synonymous with the Now Dance brand at the time. And the top there says 20 Smash Dance Hits of the Year. Well, we'll be the judge of that, I think. These are also the 12-inch mixes. If you didn't see the last video, which I highly recommend you check out. So back in the day, when singles were released, they were either released on 7-inch vinyl, so, smaller vinyl, that was usually just the radio edit. But the 12-inch release would often have, extended mixes, remixes, dance mixes, and that's what these are. So you've got your 20 tracks which are listed on the front. Chain Reaction's a big song. We Don't Have To. They clearly can't fit the whole title on it, so we don't have to take our clothes off by Jermaine Stewart. Don't Leave Me This Way by the Communards. Can't Wait Another Minute by 5 Star. Midnight Star with Midas Touch. Gwen Guthrie, Ain't Nothing Going On But the Rent. Amazing song. Harley, Jackmaster Funk, Love Can't Turn Around. That is an equally brilliant tune. Timex Social Club with Rumours. Joyce Sims, All in All. Cashflow, Mine or Mine. Aretha Franklin with Who's Zooming Who. Nice to see area. Tavares with Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel. Paul Hardcastle with Don't Waste My Time. Jackie Graham with Breaking Away. Grace Jones with Pull Up to the Bumper, which I swear came out a few years earlier. Sunita with So Macho, debatable song. Bronski Beat with Hit That Perfect Beat. MC Micah and DJ Sven with Holiday Rap. Phil Ferron with I Can Prove It. And Boris Gardner with I Wanna Wake Up With You. So that is your track list. Already some pretty identifiable songs on there for those who are familiar with the era. So if you give me a jump cut, we'll take a look at the back. So there is the back of the record, which has the track list, and often the track list is a bit muddled, but this time it's actually all correct. And down there it says over 2 hours of Smash dance hits. They really prided themselves back then, because of course this is a double album, so you're going to have more listening time overall. And we'll just look at the track list again. What's interesting they started doing is they give you the total run time for each side, almost like they have to prove how long each of these were. So side 1 will cost you nearly 33 minutes. Side 2 will be 33 minutes and 4 seconds of your time. Side 3 is 32 minutes and 48 seconds. And side 4 is 32 minutes and 6 seconds, which I think is actually quite a useful thing to put on releases. I'm not saying they should do it for the numbered series, but definitely for dance, because sometimes the mixes can go on forever. Although, in an ideal world, I would have preferred the actual times of the tracks on here, but I'm not complaining. I mean, what can I say about the track list initially? Most of side 1 is an absolute banger, although I am happy they've got Love Can't Turn Around on side 2. That was a big breakout sort of rap hit back in the day for 1986, and it's a really great song. Check out the live version they did on Top of the Pops. You got these quirky characters again, and as you can see, they was maybe debating numbering them because the code for this, but it actually does say NOD2. There you go, Now Dance 2, if you like. So maybe they were going to number these instead of putting them by years, who knows. But again, if you allow me one more jump cut, we will take a look inside. Now here you go, here's the inside of the record. Now, like all the Now releases, you have full colour pictures of all the artists and a little bit about them. The camera might not be able to pick up all the individual text, but we will zoom in and see what we can see. So of course you got people like Diana Ross, and you got 5 Star there, Gwen Guthrie. That's an amazing song, by the way, if you haven't heard Ain't Nothing Going On But the Rent. Down here, there you go, Love Can't Turn Around's there. This is really nice, because think back in the day, there was no internet, and unless you were watching things like Top of the Pops, then you weren't really going to get information about the artist unless you bought their album. And back in the day, albums weren't exactly the cheapest thing in the world. Even if you were going for the cheaper options on, cassette and stuff, you were still paying pennies, especially if you were a kid and using your pocket money. So that's all your artists there. Now look, it also says it's available. The first Now Dance gets a shout out. It's also available. And also available is Now 7. This did come out in 1986. And I believe if I've got my years right, Now 7 did come out in 1986, as did Now 8. So this was released somewhere between the releases of Now 7 and Now 8 in 1986. Probably in the summer, because a lot of those songs on there were massive summer hits. The prime example, We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off by Jermaine Stewart, was a big summer hit in 1986. Hence why you collate all these tracks together, so you're playing them at summer parties or house parties, things like that. So that's the album in a nutshell. Now, where can you pick up Now Dance 86? Well, I remember where I got this one quite specifically. I was on tour at the time doing a show around schools in 2017, and wherever we went, I tried to hit the charity shop. So I walked into an Oxfam, and sure enough, in the record section, there this was. It cost me a very, very expensive £1.99. So they are out there. If you don't want to hit the charity shops, your best bet is sites like eBay or Discogs. And you should pay anything, ideally from around a couple of quid. But I'd say I'd pay no more than £10 for Now Dance 86. And I'd only pay £10 if it was in like mint condition, never touched, never played. But should you get it? Well, if you're a fan of the songs that are on here, like some of those big summer songs that I mentioned, then absolutely. A lot of them, this was before sort of remixes came into play, which I think as we see when we get into the Now Dances of the late 90s, early 2000s, that was more prominent. But this is just the bass tracks that you hear on the radio, just at a longer runtime. And if you're a fan of these songs, then I definitely recommend it. It's a fab album. I prefer this one definitely to Now Dance 85, the first one, purely for songs like Love Can't Turn Around and Don't Leave Me This Way, We Don't Have To, Chain Reaction, Who's Zooming Who. There's just so many better songs on here in my opinion, but of course, with all music, it's all subjective. But that in a nutshell is Now Dance 86. And that's all for this episode of the Now Review. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments below, do you own Now Dance 86? Do you plan on picking it up? There is also a cassette version of Now Dance 86 for those who are interested, but again, a couple of quid, no more for that. Aside from that, thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you already owned it on vinyl or cassette. Please subscribe to the channel. And until the next one, I will see you guys next time.
Thank you to our patrons for helping to support the show, and a special thank you to Macra, Hooks Media, Ben Freeman, Ethan Carberry-Holt, Bruce Danton, The Broken Kitsumanoid, and Francine Salazar, our AMTV staff members.